Hey y'all, welcome back to Cumberlachia. Today I'm going to put together a green bean potato, and it's called Country Ranch green beans and potatoes. So it's basically green beans and potatoes. You can use any green beans you want if you'd like to use fresh. If you're getting green beans out of your garden right now, I'm not. My green beans did not do well. So I'm using Mom's canned green beans. And potatoes, you can use like 3 or 4 red potatoes. I've got Mom's canned potatoes. I'm going to use those too. It's easier just to bring stuff up here that's already canned. I don't have to worry about cooking a whole lot of it. I've got my ranch mix. I'll put a link down below. I like to make my own ranch mix. It lasts a lot longer and doesn't have all the preservatives in it. I already I already fried off some bacon. Got about 6 strips of bacon in here, and I just made it nice and crispy. Very good. So bacon's done, and then some other odds and ends that we're going to be putting in there: onion, and I got some whole stick of butter that I'm going to use today. I got the Kerrygold. I got the garlic and herb because I just wanted to taste the flavor of that. I think it's going to add a lot, impart a lot of flavor into the beans and the potatoes. Let me light this back up since we're ready to start. Woo! Fire! Makes me think of Charlie Daniels. Fire flew from his fingertips as he rosined up his bow. You don't want to hear me sing. You really don't. So I'm going to put this Kerrygold butter in there. Let it start melting. Pan's still hot because I just did the... Get out of there, butter. I just did the bacon in there. And I left the bacon grease in there. There's probably about 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. I just left it in there for the flavor. I'm going to put this on low. I don't need to burn this butter. Woo! Burn me. In fact, that pan is so hot, I'm turning it off. I'm just going to let this butter melt in here into the bacon grease. Well, I cut up the onion. I use 1 sweet onion. I don't like to use a purple onion. I love my purple onions, or what you guys might call it a red onion. I'm not colorblind, they're purple. So I call them purple onions. But I know they're supposed to be red. So I'm just going to clean all this off. That goes in the compost. We're just going to cut these in chunks. Not real small. I'm going to cut it in thirds and then cut it down. And we're just going to saute these onions. And at this time, if you're using cooked or uncooked potatoes, uncooked. If you're using uncooked, uncooked potatoes, this is when you put them in. Start cooking them off. Just do it on low. That way you can steam them a little bit, get them done a little bit quicker. And you're going to put the green beans. If you're using fresh, put those in probably about 5 minutes after you've done the potatoes. That way they don't turn to mush. If you're using canned green beans or jarred green beans like I am, just put them in last. So let's get that going. Now that I got some onion in there, we'll relight this. There we go. A lot of you have been asking if I'm going to have an outdoor kitchen, if this is my outdoor kitchen. Well, for right now it is. It's something easy to throw together and do videos, but when we get the cabin built, which is going to be right over there to your left, and we're going to be starting on that real soon now. I'm excited for that. I'll have a full outdoor kitchen right out the back door of the kitchen and pantry, right on the deck looking out over what I call Chapel Hill. It is beautiful. I don't know if you can see the light filtering through the trees here, but down there on the hill, they just look like you're in church. It is so beautiful. The first time I walked up the area and saw that, I named it Chapel Hill right then and there. So I'm just going to saute these onions until they're a little tender and translucent. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to cut up some oregano that I got out of the garden. So I'm just going to pull out some of this oregano, as I was saying. I'm loving getting the fresh herbs and such out of the garden. Mom canned, well, she put it in jars. I call it canning, but she dried a whole lot of things already. And I just talked to her this morning. She said she's on her 3rd picking and drying of her herbs. So I've been drying some of mine. I haven't been drying as many as she has because I know I'm going to get a bunch of that. And I just don't want to waste it. So I'm using all my fresh as much as I can, but I did bring her dried up here because my oregano is doing great. My basil, not so much. I don't know what's up with the basil. It's usually when I grew it down in Florida, it would go crazy. And here it's just kind of going slow, not doing a lot. I don't know if it's not getting enough sun. I mean, I think we're getting enough sun back there. We're getting about 6 to 8 hours a day, but we're not getting a whole lot of basil out of there. So I just planted some more. I planted holy basil, and I've got that growing in the green stalks. So hopefully I'll be harvesting that soon. But got plenty of oregano. My mint's doing great. Chocolate mint's doing good. Spearmint, I got tons of it. And sage is actually doing really well too. So have my sage for cooking. Mom likes to use sage in her dressing at Thanksgiving. I'm not a real big fan of sage in dressing, but I like using it in other dishes. So let me make this a little bit smaller. But yeah, we're getting, tomatoes are doing great. I'm still waiting for my Cherokee purples to come on. I'm getting some of the Romas and lots of the cherry tomatoes. I love just walking through the garden, popping those off and eating them. They're fresh, soft, so delicious, so sweet. So we'll use a little bit of my decoration that I had there for the table, and I'll eat it. Nothing better than the smell of onions cooking and bacon and butter. Okay, we're browning up a little bit. Making a little brown butter there with the heat. Letting it cook off with my bacon fat that already had cooked. Okay, I'm going to turn that down just a little if I can. There we go. So next I'm going to put in maybe about a quarter teaspoon, half teaspoon of garlic powder. Maybe a little more because I like it. And we'll put some of Mom's basil in there because mine's not doing great, so use a little her basil. And I'm not going to salt this because there is a little bit of salt, not much, but a little bit in the dry mix, ranch mix. And even though I have onion in there, I am going to put a little bit of onion powder. Probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. Get that all up my fingers. And I'm going to throw in this fresh oregano. So I want that to cook and get the oil out of the oregano, get the flavor in that butter. Even though it had a little bit of flavoring in that Kerrygold butter. All right. Now I'm going to put in the green beans. I've already drained off the green beans and the potatoes, so there's no liquid in there. Oops, don't want to waste any of those. Get out of there, green bean. I think Mom said these are from like a year and a half ago, 2 years. And they smell wonderful. Now, at this point, if you're using fresh green beans and fresh potatoes, you'd be putting in the potatoes already and letting them cook. Some of these potatoes, Mom did a good job cutting these up bite size, perfect. So basically mine's all cooked. You're not going to have to wait that 20 minutes to cook the potatoes and the green beans. Makes it a lot quicker. That's why I like canning, using less electricity now that I'm up here on the property. We are getting electric. We had some trees we had to cut down, and those are down. Now we're waiting for the electrician to come out and put in the electric pole, have it inspected, and the electric company, they already said they can drop it right there. As soon as that happens, my butt's going to be up here on the property. Okay, so I'm going to put about a tablespoon of ranch mix in here. This is just going to give a little extra flavor. I'll taste it. Can't remember how much salt I put in this, so I'm not going to salt it until I taste it. But I'll put a link down below to my mix, so if you guys want to make your own, It's real easy and tastes really a whole lot better. I can already smell that ranch. Now, I grew up with Mom making her potatoes and green beans and ham and simmering that in the crock pot all day, or even on the stove, but mainly on the crock pot. That was delicious. So this is just a little bit different version of hers. Where's my bacon? Oh, bacon's right in front of me. We're going to throw that bacon in. Like I said, you could use ham, but we're going to use bacon. Get this all stirred in. Now, I did the bacon crispy. I don't like eating crispy bacon, but in a dish, you want to make it a little crispy because it's going to start absorbing moisture and it's going to soften up. And if you use soft bacon, it's going to be real chewy. Man, this smells good. But the neighbors is living around here wondering what's going on up here. Smelling all this cooking from up on the mountain. Okay, let me grab a spoon. Give this a taste. It does not need any salt. Very good. I'm going to put a little more black pepper in there. And I have a wasp flying around wanting to check out my food. Get out of here, wasp. Goodbye. And give this a stir. Yeah, within the next 2 weeks, camper should be sitting over there. Be here every day, can work on the cabin. It'd be great. All right. Now let me clear a spot over here. There you go. So there's our country ranch, green beans, and potatoes. This looks delicious. Honestly, that butter and ranch mix made kind of like a little gravy sauce. Looks really good. So give this one a try. It's real easy. I'll put the ingredients down below if you want to make it with fresh potatoes and fresh green beans, or you can do a combination of both. Since I already had these canned and it was easier to bring up here to Cumberlachia, that's what I did. So I'll put the recipe down below. I'll also put it on my website, gregs-kitchen.com. You guys can go there. I got over 1,000, 2,000 recipes on there. I've been doing that website for probably 20 years. So there's a lot on there that I have not cooked yet, but you can go on there and share them with your friends. Thank you for sharing these videos. You guys got us over 20,000 subscribers. So don't forget to like and share and leave us a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this and anything else you'd like me to try up here in Cumberlachia. I might do a few more videos this week in the camper, but I'm really enjoying cooking up here. I feel like I'm at home, so that's what we're going to do. Y'all take care. God bless. Love you. Bye-bye.